Hey, it's Mark Washington from MTC Media. North Carolina tonight plays Charleston, which is going to be another tough CAA team that will not be intimidated by the Hills. Now, the game against UNCW obviously was not one of their finer moments. It was opening night, so you take it for what it will. But some of the things I'll be looking for in the game against Charleston is how do they deal with if Charleston starts icing screens with Armando Baycott and Davis or Love. That was something that UNCW did a great job of doing. At first, North Carolina didn't know what they wanted to do with it when they got ice back towards the sideline. The guards really wasn't making great decisions, kind of getting caught up, not knowing where to go. So we want to see if maybe on those ices does Baycott slip more. How they handle it. Do they put that screen more in the middle of the floor as opposed to the wing and make that a flat screen and not a traditional screen where the guard is looking to be dictated to with the direction that he goes in flat screen and give him the option of going either way. So I'm sort of wondering how Hubert Davis will do that if Charleston decides to go that way. Second was being out rebounded. That had to be something. Had to be something that Hubert Davis addressed. It was embarrassing how UNCW dominated the Hills on the board. And yes, they dominated the Hills on the board just simply by outworking them. North Carolina looked like they felt like they were too cool to go in there and rebound. And it showed. And there's not a too cool moment. Again, this is not the team that was the redemption team that came back and beat Gonzaga after that terrible loss to Villanova. The landscape of college basketball is much tougher, and they're going to have a hard road. Heck, they're going to have a hard road in the ACC, so you can't be too cool. So, let's just see what they do on the board tonight. And last but not least, in with the shooters that North Carolina has, 10 attempted three-pointers is not good enough. Now, they did what they had to do to win the UNCW game, right, down the stretch. But somehow, some way, they're going to have some games where they're going to trust the way they need to play to win in the ACC. And attempting 10 three-pointers is not going to beat the teams at the top of the ACC. They were 2 for 10. RJ Davis, Caleb Love has got to be a little bit better. They got to run their offense a little bit better to open those guys up. And Nance, obviously, if he can have that shot, take that shot. But for right now, those guards have to be better. And if Tyler Nickel gets a shot in there, he played about 6 minutes the other night. He is known as a shooter, and see if he can shoot it up. But North Carolina needs to show some strides tonight when they take on Charleston. And trust me, that game is not going to be a walkover. It's Marcus Washington with MTC Media.